Hey there, welcome back to Positive Food for Thought Mondays. And if this is your first time joining, welcome. I'm Kim McIntyre, I'm your host. Today I'm going to be sharing 5 phrases to feel more peaceful. And these phrases can help you to go from feeling grumpy, fearful, angry, whatever, to shift that into feeling more peaceful and more tranquil. And then, of course, today we'll end the video with our Monday ritual of setting a positive intention for the week. So, we're good to go. Joanne says, Happy President's Day. Happy President's Day to you, Joanne. So, if you're joining me live, feel free to say hi. Love to hear from you. And if 10 a.m. on Monday mornings Eastern time is generally not a good time for you to watch these videos, to join live, that's okay. You can catch it in the replay. You can also say hi if you're watching in the replay as well. Here are 2 ways that you can access the replay. Number 1 is to join the Joyful Self-Care Community Facebook group. And if you are relatively active in the group, meaning you post pretty regularly on the daily theme posts that we have, then this video will show up either in your notifications, so you can just tap on the notification and take you straight to the video, or it may show up in your newsfeed. If you're not as active in the group, an easier way to access it might be to go to the menu on Facebook on Mondays and go to groups, choose groups in the menu, find your way back to the group from there. And what I do on Monday after I record the video is I pin it to the top of the group so you can find it easily the next few days after. Got a little quirk in my throat. Let me take a little water here. So, the second way to access the replay is to subscribe to the Joyful Being YouTube channel. So notice the titles are slightly different. The Facebook group is Joyful Self-Care and the YouTube channel is Joyful Being. And there's a trick about that. When you subscribe, you tap on that or click that subscribe tab. Right next to it, there's a little bell icon. If you tap on that bell icon, it gives you options for notification. And so if you don't want to miss any videos, you can go right there and tell it, yes, notify me when the new videos are out. So that's an easy trick. If you're one of my YouTube subscribers and you're also interested in the Joyful Self-Care community, you'd like to learn more about it, you can find the link to that, check it out in the video description on YouTube. Okay. Today, I'm going to be talking about emotions a little bit. So, I need to preface that by saying if you're experiencing chronic depression, anxiety, grief, anything like that, the best course of action is to consult a licensed professional. I've been teaching self-care in various forms for well over 20 years. Doesn't mean that I'm a licensed therapist, because I'm not. So if that's you, please take care of yourself. So does anybody remember the movie that came out many years ago called What the Bleep Do You Know? Or What the Bleep Do We Know, I think was the title. If you remember that movie, you can say yes, type out yes. And that movie was really about our perceptions of the world, of reality, and how we can choose to shift our perceptions to more positive focus. And in that movie, one of the scientists talks about the neuropeptides that our brains put out associated with different emotional states. So there's neuropeptides of joy and peace and fear and anger and sadness. Like our emotional states create specific neuropeptides. And then our cells, all the cells in our body, have receptor sites for these neuropeptides. But they're like a lock and key. So only a joy receptor will fit into a joy site. Only a fear receptor will receive a fear neuropeptide. They work together like that. Now there's good news and bad news about this. So I will start with the bad news. The bad news is that if you have a habitual emotional state that you're experiencing a lot, you're putting out a lot of neuropeptides for that emotional state. And let's say it's an emotional state that you'd like to change. Let's say you have a lot of fear going on. And so you're putting out a lot of neuropeptides about fear. Your cells on your body will grow more neuropeptides for fear. It's like supply and demand, and kind of crowd out the ones for other emotional states that you might want to have more of. And in that way, those emotional states are literally affecting the tissues in their body. It's a biochemical thing. And so that's why it can be hard sometimes if you're stuck in an emotional habit pattern to make that shift. Here's the good news. The good news is our bodies are making new cells all the time, and we can choose our focus. We can choose to cultivate a focus that leads us in the direction that we want to go. It takes a commitment, though. It takes a consistent practice. I mean, you don't have to do it perfectly. You can do it just even shifting a little bit in that direction can make a big difference. And you'll be growing more of those receptor sites for joy, for happiness, for peace, for tranquility, because your brain's putting out more of them. So it's just an interesting idea that there's a biochemical element on it. And sometimes we can get so hard on ourselves for not being able to make that shift that we want to make, but just have some compassion for ourselves, like I was talking about in last week's video, that self-love, that self-compassion, that this is an ongoing process. And so we want to be able to take incremental, consistent steps in the direction that we want to go. So the passage that I want to read today is from a book called Quantum Success. It is written by Sandra Ann Taylor, and she references these neuropeptides. And in this passage, she's giving us some specific things we can say to ourselves to help make that mental shift. Okay? She says, when you feel a negative emotion welling up within, stop and take a deep breath. Affirm, my body is releasing neuropeptides of peace and tranquility. A gentle wave of serenity and relaxation is moving through me now. When you see or experience something that ignites a negative reaction, affirm, I can let that go. I release and relax. I choose peace. That's the type of self-talk that can help us go in the direction that we want to go. So now it is time to do our experience of going within, finding our center, and then setting a positive intention for the week. So close your eyes with me if you'd like to. I'm going to close my eyes, and we'll just begin, like she said in that passage, taking a nice deep breath. And just feel the breath fill you up. And exhale. And just keep the breath flowing in and out, nice and deep. Deep, slow breathing all by itself has a calming effect on our nervous system. So breathing deeply. And in your mind, just think of a time in your life where you felt very peaceful, tranquil, serene. Just let yourself remember a moment or a memory and think about it for a moment as you breathe. And as you're breathing and remembering, you might begin to feel some of that peace again within you, even if it's just a small echo of the peace you felt then. Just allow yourself to breathe with that and experience it. How it felt and how it feels now. Just letting it come alive in your mind. And breathing deeply with it. And now imagine yourself in different circumstances in the week ahead, allowing yourself to feel more peaceful, moving through your day-to-day experiences in a more peaceful way. Just imagine yourself in different places and different things you need to do in the week ahead. Feeling more peaceful, more tranquil, more calm. Just play with it in your imagination and continue the deep, slow breathing as you do so. Good. And now think of one thing, one activity, one experience you can give yourself this week to cultivate more peace. Just let yourself think of something. And set that intention for yourself to follow through and do that activity that brings you more peace. And you can also set an intention that that vision of yourself moving through the week in a more peaceful way, that you are open to that. An intention of openness to experience more peace. And then take a nice deep breath in and exhale and open your eyes. So, to make this more real for yourself, I invite you to type out what that intention is, what you're going to do for yourself this week, whether it's an affirmation, a meditation, spend time in nature, whatever it is you're going to do for yourself to cultivate more peace this week. It makes it more real, it makes it more of a commitment if you actually put it out there into the group and let other people know what you're going to do. Makes it more real and makes you more likely to actually do it. So you can do that right underneath the video if you're here in the Facebook group. You can even do that if you're watching it on YouTube as well in the comments. And you can also let us know how it went. On Saturday and the weekend post, we have group shares of various kinds, and you can report back and let us know how your intention for the week went. So I invite you to do that as well, and to stay open to experiencing more peace. And if you're experiencing something that's not peace, that's okay too. Know that it's a process of continuing to focus, continuing to shift your perceptions, and the more compassion and self-love you bring to that, the more effective that can be. So if you need to rewatch last week's video for the compassion and the love piece, you can be sure to do that too. So I wish you a beautiful, peaceful, lovely week ahead. And I will see you next Monday for the next Positive Food for Thought Monday.